Trivialisation. How and why lying became known as spin within the government of the United Kingdom. Have you ever noticed that our political leaders here in the United Kingdom now refer to their dishonesty, to their lying, as spin? And more importantly, do you understand why they actually chose to begin to do so? As of course, this has not merely happened by chance. Well, when any group of people are as dishonest as our government needs to be, in an effort to continue to cover up for its many failings, at some point, in order to not lose all of their credibility, they had to begin to trick the British public into mistakenly believing that honesty within their government is not in fact as absolutely paramount as it is. And in order to achieve this aim, they decided to make a deliberate attempt to trivialise their almost non-stop lying by openly referring to it as spin, and by constantly laughing and giggling about it like little children. You see, by deliberately working to trivialise something, what you are actually attempting to do is to downgrade the importance of it. You are actually attempting to make something that is in fact very important appear to be far less so. As yes, when you are able to make something that is in fact very important appear to be far less so, you are then more likely to be able to get away with doing it on a far more regular basis. Now, as almost all of the British public have fallen for this trick, hook, line and sinker, to them, they now think that dishonesty within their government is just one of those things that is unavoidable. Well, I have some truly terrible news for you. As your government has actually managed to deceive you in almost every sense for such a long period of time, what you now think is going on is so far removed from the reality of the situation that it is nothing short of incredible. And yes, as the situation continues to degrade with every passing day, your political leaders will need to work to divert all blame away from themselves for what is to come, by any and all means possible, as the last thing that they wish to have to do is to hold their hand up and freely admit that they are in fact the ones who are responsible for having bankrupted this nation, and not only in a financial sense, but in a moral sense too, as all leaders are actually meant to lead by example. And the example that has long been set by our leadership here in the United Kingdom has been nothing short of disgusting. Now, as this gradual corruption, the demoralisation of our society from the top down has continued to progress, we have also seen a deliberate attempt to trivialise the fraud within the banking industry by openly referring to it as mis-selling. And then there has been the deliberate effort to trivialise the cheating that we see by our many sportsmen and women by openly referring to it as gamesmanship. Face it, folks, due to the dishonesty of our political leaders here in the United Kingdom over such a long period of time, we now live in a nation that is quite literally awash with dishonesty in almost every aspect of our lives. We are quite literally drowning in a sea of dishonesty. And you know the worst of it? Most within our society see nothing at all wrong with what is now going on. Hence exactly why so many of the British population are now foolishly buying into the whole fake plague situation that we now find ourselves in. Best wishes, Andrew.